Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Bounce Forward Talks presented by CII Young Indians, with supported by Roundtable India and in association with Faber Infinite Consulting. Uh, I am Vishal, and I welcome all of you for this today's talks with Mr. Anand Chordia, Director Pravin Masalewale. Well, we all have seen in last few days many things have all either paused or they have stopped. But one thing which has neither stopped nor paused is eating. We are still eating. We are eating day in day out. And for an Indian people, masala is an integral part of our food. If there is no masala in our food, our taste buds will never be happy. And even in today's situation, there are so many hands which are working to ensure that they continue giving us this supply of good masales and make our taste buds happy. We have with us Mr. Anand Chordia, Director Pravin Masalewale Group. He and his teams are working throughout in this scenario as well to ensure that the goods supply remains consistent and it reaches to our doorsteps. So I welcome, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and investing your time for this discussion.
Thank you so much, Vishalji, Faber Infinite, CII, Young Indians, everyone. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And my regards to all attendees who are here. I hope I share my best possible experience simply to enlighten on the subject which needs to be known today. I hope I am audible clearly.
Yes, sir. You are very much audible, sir.
Good.
Thank you. So, audience, I take this opportunity to quickly introduce Mr. Anand Chordia. If I want to give his full introduction, in fact, I will eat up 30 minutes of the entire time. So, I'll try to be very crisp. Mr. Anand Chordia is a director of Pravin Masale Group, having famous brands like Suhana Masala, Ambari, Praveen, and Tufan. He has played a key role in revamp of a 53-year-old family managed business. He has introduced more than 150 products, launched more than 150 products in this business. Along with this, he is also a founder of Eco Factory Foundation and chairman of Food Processing Committee of MCCIA Pune. He is a well-known TEDx speaker. He has been awarded with various awards. I'll just read few of them. He has been awarded with Rajiv Gandhi Quality Award, AIF PA's Presidential Special Award, Jayantrao Tilak Award, which is Pune City's the best award or the highest award from the Pune City, Jayantrao Tilak Award, International Test and Quality Institute Award from Belgium, and many, many more. So we have a person who has played a key role in this industry, masala industry, which is a part of in larger scale on a FMCG industry. He believes in be the change you want to see in the world and wishes everyone Sarve Sukhina Santu, Sarve Santu Niramaya. So with this a very crisp introduction, I once again welcome Mr. Anand Chordia on these Bounce Forward Talks. Sir, to begin with, we would like to know more about your organization, sir.
Essentially, we are third generation into this family-owned business, started in 1962. We started with my grandfather, grandmother started the business from home after multiple failures in their own life, but totally determined that they will do business. And they started with making few kilos of masalas at home. And grandmother used to formulate and make it, and grandfather used to go around on cycle and sell it. So that time, that small room was our office, factory, retail store, and house, everything in one premises. Slowly, it has grown eventually, very organically in initial days because of the quality and the taste. But both of them have been very innovative in offering products, hacking them, and the key thrust always they have given always has been on creating, understanding consumer insights, and solving consumer problems through the products we were offering. Then the business got structured. Then brands came in picture, packaging came in picture. Earlier they used to wrap it in newspaper with a thread. Then they slowly changed to a brown paper. Then they quickly moved to a poly when poly was invented, and they soon realized that there are a lot of people who are doing kind of a copy and adulteration in similar looking bags. Lower quality products are packed. So that point of time they invented a concept of chap, so which will identify our own product, and that's how Ambari chap initially was invented. Later on in 2000 onwards, we have converted that chap into Ambari brand also, along with retaining the chap. And today we offer our major Maharashtrian spices range through that Ambari brand. Then later on, they appointed distributors. We grew geographically. Then pickles were invented after masalas. Then pickle business started, and that is how the story has gone. Then my dad, my uncles joined the business, and after that, now we are the third generation who look into the business totally. Today, we offer more than 180 products to 22 countries. We have 9 integrated manufacturing facilities around India, and 9 states of India we cater through our products right now. We work largely for Clean India program through Eco Factory Foundation. Largely with farmers, we work to have non-chemical pesticide or insecticide residue food production, uh, and multiple uh, verticals as a CSR also we are working.
Oh, great. So it's really motivating story of an
Now the
organization with
product range is instant mixes, cuppa products where you just add hot water and make Indian food. I was inspired to do that when I we were traveling as family outside India, and we were having those cuppa noodles, and that is the time I felt that I should be designing a product, and we are proud to have Indian food which is healthy, natural. And in this COVID fight, we all are seeing how Indians are more immune due to a lot of ingredients which are used in our day-to-day food. And then we were able to create product line like kappa poha, kappa upma, kappa dal khichdi we've come up with, and lot many products. In fact, ghar ka dal chawal, all that, they're all natural products without any preservatives, and just add hot water and those meals are ready. We also offer products like ready to cook spice mixes, ketchups, pickles, range of pickles, uh, single ingredient spices like mirchi, haldi, dhania, etc. So there's a whole big range. Now it's a food company more than a masala company now.
okay. Great, sir. Really, it's motivating to see an organization which has started from a small room, has a presence today with respect to its products in more than 22 countries and having so many number of plants. I'm sure it will motivate to all of us. I'll go to my second question, sir. Now, your industry is a kind of a forward integration of India's largest sector, that is an agricultural sector. So, from the you get a material from the agricultural sector which you process and give it to all of us. Now, what are the variables associated with this industry? Because agricultural sectors and your industry is subject to so many variables. So, what are those variables, and what is an impact of these variables in today's scenario where everything's are in question marks?
No, first, see, otherwise, also the variables act very strongly on our industry, as you said. As we were also discussing earlier, still in India, cold storage or supply chain issues still pertain. The way the industry completely depends on agricultural raw material. There itself, lot of unstandardization still exists in India, and that area is largely unorganized today. For example, we are actually one of the largest, in fact, for many agricultural products like chili, we are largest producer in world, but still there is lot of gap in entire supply chain or integrating and skilling farmers for certain quality growths. Now where we work on that with Spices Board of India with them. Along with that, cold storage, frozen chambers, chill temperature storage are also many some of the many areas where lot of progress and development needs to be there, because these items are either perishable. If not perishable, then they deteriorate largely with time in quality if not stored in a proper condition. And entire food business dynamics are on what kind of a quality and cost you offer to consumers consistently throughout the year. And all these products are seasonal. Other than that, also there are many new dimensions merging in entire forward supply chain, like modern retail is merging in, e-commerce is merging in, the traditional retail is merging in. And now with this particular complication of COVID-19, the whole system got disrupted very badly. I feel more than industry, farmers are suffering really a lot right now. As I was mentioning you before, lot
Yeah.
of farmers are directly calling me for last few days and understanding what they really should do with the fresh produce is lying on their farm. Some of the produce, like which we don't use as industry but as a food industry, like fresh vegetables or green vegetables, get wasted if not sold in a day. For them, it's a effort of more than few months. Their land was occupied, their labor they had to put lot of funds in, and everything is going on toss. So in such situation, we are also realizing that how much more back end and forward integration needs to be generated for packed food products. As long as you ask me, where the food products are stable to ambient temperature, the things are at least better now. As far as people have stocks with them or raw material inventory is with them, they can process certain things. Otherwise, most of the interstate transport is right now banned. That's why there is no much work really can happen.
Okay. Great. So, you belong to an industry which we call it like essential supply. So in current scenario, I understand your operations are still running. So how are you ensuring safety of your employees as well as safety of your customers who are buying your products?
Okay, so yes, so uh, we kind of had an internal lockdown a little bit prior to the official lockdown was announced, seeing the risk for all the admin offices. And the quality assurance team, where we comprise of lot of food technologists and microbiologists also, had started already making a document that how we will have people movement, how we will have certain additional protocols to prevent the spread if essential commodities work will happen. And we created certain protocol internally. I don't see that it is 100% precise protocol, because we still want to get some equipments and we are not getting hold of it. But yes, social distancing or sanitization of hands or mask or sanitization of our entire premises is done. Along with that, we do have those sensor guns which are used to check temperatures. We have doctors in our facilities whom we have asked to be with us for entire month to keep talking with people and understanding the health status. We are recommending people lot of natural remedies like hot water with turmeric or ginger to have at home. We are also explaining all people whichever limited lines we are working on, because not all lines of ours are open, and we don't wish to do that. Only essential commodities which is need of an hour, we are processing only those lines. So the numbers in working in our facility are very minimal, and our admin offices are not working. We all are working from home for anything of office correspondence. But factories, we have minimal number. We have stronger security protocols because it's quiet in the evenings, and there are a lot of risks of thefts also. So that kind of provision also we planned little bit earlier. Also for fires, lot of protective gears and protection we have taken, because it's summer time, and many times these agricultural goods which are stored in gunny bags may catch fire, so we have to be very vigilant about it. So certain such checklist we created, and we after 3 or 4 days of break maybe, we resumed our even manufacturing operations. So that is how we are doing our work right now.
Great.
Many plants, out of 9 plants, only 2 or 3 are working, not others, because wherever we have a WIP or non-important, non-essential goods manufactured, all those plants are shut fully.
Yes, so this definitely gives us, all of us confidence about.
Also, a, for a better work at admin level, office level, we have created a digital working document, SOPs for a right digital working, that how smaller groups can be made. We have groups made on WhatsApp. We have Zoom meetings happening, or other platforms also. We have 3 4 defined platforms, including Zoho, which some people are using, and smaller groups are working right now than a mega structure. And these smaller committees are given independent authority to run and deliver certain things. Right now, to me, supply chain driven, my industry is working more on supply chain or demand driven work, and there is no much of a planning can get into that right now. But we are basically have got used to this digital working so far, and our WhatsApp groups are also working very actively, along with some of these video conferencing platforms.
So you just talked about the supply chain, and in your previous discussion also, you were talking about the importance of supply chain to your industry. So in this current scenario, how are you managing both inward and outward supply chains?
So I'll tell you, for only, as I said, only first is essential commodities is what we are focusing on, and we have got permissions from government with the vehicle numbers written on that. Every driver has been trained for personal hygiene, sanitation, and also mask utilization. Uh, Also, when driver arrives at our warehouse, the social distancing is maintained fully, and we do not encourage, and we do not have people going closer to each other and loading vehicle. When the vehicle is parked, we have a person with the full PPE, the suits on them, and doing the fumigation of entire vehicle, and then the material is put in the vehicle. And these limited number of vehicles which are allowed to be operated are only operating for the supply chain of these goods. uh, we are not able to start our export yet, because that process will take some more time.
Okay. So,
Same happens for raw material unloading. Certain raw material, whatever is coming so far, we are utilizing a similar process to unload the goods also. Then we keep them in fumigation chambers. We sanitize the areas constantly, and only those minimal raw materials we are working on.
Great.
So
So, sir,
we little, I'm telling a little prior to this lockdown, but
mhm.
when the it the this virus and COVID-19 was spreading, we had thought of stocking certain things which are important at our premises, and that has helped us a lot in such time.
Great. So, sir, what do you think? What your industry should do now to mitigate this risk of this COVID-19 risk?
No, I think first important part is uh, we also, so when I'm operating my plants, there is so much of fear, to be very honest with you, that we want to make sure that uh, uh, we take full care, but still, uh, social distancing is something where we need to be very strict with people when they come together. At least if there are 30-35 people,
Yeah,
we have marked on the floors actually that where they should sit and not cross those lines. Everything like that is designed, and I will like to email some videos and some links as GMPs which multiple industries are using with MOFPI also. We've been talking about same,
yeah,
which I will like to share you, which can be shared with all the participants here. As far
definitely.
as you ask me, the best way now is really uh, to protect ourselves first is very important. Life of every individual employees is very critical. Be supportive, be positive, talk to them is what is necessary. Keep connected, that's very important. And many times there is a disconnected feeling which should not come to either suppliers or employees. So we are doing that all the time, talking with all the suppliers, distributors, retailers, employees, everyone, and figuring out that what is happening at their end, what good things they have learned from their local scenario, because it is so decentralized and the problems which are occurred in different regions are totally different. So there is no one national solution to this problem other than actually locking down ourselves. But at least we are trying to be connected, find the right answers to problem, and work accordingly. At certain level, we had to talk to interstate authorities also, share the importance of the goods which are manufactured. And fortunately, all states in India, all governments, state governments are very cooperative for such kind of thing. Industries need to prepare a plan post COVID, which I personally don't foresee will everything will get reopened very soon. But we should use this time to plan things. For example, I'll tell you, if we were not in touch with employees or people, it would have been difficult after that 3-4 days of break to bring back some small number of laborers on track, because it would have been very difficult. But we have been doing it very deliberately, so we could actually get, with God's grace, we could get some people coming back working, and we could ensure, the QA team could ensure a full safety protocol which is followed in the entire manufacturing system. All industries need to kind of prepare. We can have these mock drills done, conceptualization done, that how this will happen. Very important thing is how you will see at liquidity, cash flow, pending payments, P&L. All these things are right now very important to look into and make sure that we are not. So basically, we have a war room created in Suhana right now, which is a lean Suhana war room, and we are trying to see how, as an industry, we can go very lean post COVID also, and even during COVID, because we are operational during COVID as well. So there is a lot of visualization needs to be done now. A lot of creative thinking needs to be applied. lot of other good practices needs to be absorbed, which we are trying to do. And this is what we are created. So the war room is again a small committee of key people having finance and having accounts and having operational in charge involved in that. They are constantly working on this aspect. So post COVID, or to get better in this situation, these are the things I will definitely recommend. Some things can come as opportunity also in such a time of crisis, and you can see for many businesses uh, which are in hygiene solutions, personal hygiene solutions, making these masks and other things. These businesses have actually got a boom, and they are growing in a faster rate. We are working a lot to see first thing as right now things not as business, but more as a uh, through a seva bhav, that we reach out to people who need food. And that's what our primary agenda has been right now. With multiple NGOs we are working. So these were not our traditional ways of doing businesses, but now these are our supply chains, which are going to these NGOs or groups of people where food needs to be distributed. And these are the lines we are working on right now. In your own businesses also or services also, this needs to be identified, and such kind of practices, opportunities, risk areas needs to be identified. So SWOT for COVID-19 needs to be done now, and it is time now we should create that.
Very well said. So, what for this scenario has to be done now. I fully agree with you on that. So, as a part of it, what we have seen in the recent days that many organizations have started to revisit their product portfolio, something which they were not making before. They have started totally revamping their entire portfolio, making products which they never manufactured before. So, do you have any plans on those lines to revisit the entire portfolio or add some few things with respect to current
Certainly,
situation?
yes. Vishalji, it's also one of the deeper insights we have developed, that there will be products of future, and which will be different than products of past. And so things like health food,
Mhm.
nutraceuticals, uh, foods or products which will build immunity in general,
Mhm.
which will be more natural and lesser processed, will be products of future. Awareness about building immunity globally will grow in multifold times. And I feel as Indians, we really are fortunate and blessed through Ayurveda and our Indian food systems, blessed by the farmers who still mostly do lot of natural organic farming. Our immunities are better than many other.
So that means immunity building products is the future wave which we should expect from the food industry. Hello, hello. Priyal, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, but I guess we have lost Mr. Anand. Let me see and try to connect with him.
Please.
Yeah.
Uh, Audience, by the time we get Mr. Anand back, I'll show you some webinar controls. Uh, if you have any questions for Mr. Anand, you can see an answer tab on the left top corner of your screen. You can type over your question over there, and which I will read it to Mr. Anand, and will seek his opinion and advice on the same. Sorry for this inconvenience. Our team is working to get the things back on the track. We should have Mr. Anand there soon. Kindly bear with us for the small interruption.
Vishal sir,
Yeah.
there are some issues from Mr. Anand's side. So we won't be able to see him, but we'll be still able to hear him. So it's
Okay,
connecting
great.
back within a minute.
Okay, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm back.
Great. So,
So this is kind of a crisis management which one needs to prepare beforehand. And but anyways, so where
great,
was
sir.
I? What was I?
No, so you were talking about product portfolio in which you
Now
were
we
giving a.
are changing. So we are working on health food. Fortunately, 6-7 months back we had launched turmeric latte mix, which is to fight immunity. Black pepper and turmeric in Ayurveda works very well to build immunity and also helps huge good quantity and quality absorption of uh, vitamins through the food you have. So the product is designed around it, a turmeric latte mix, and lot more such health products are coming in future. We already started working on jaggery, organic jaggery, as a replacement for white sugar. White sugar is also believed to reduce lot of immunity, and so these are the trends which I foresee definitely will emerge in future. We have another health product. Let me just share this moringa powder, organic. We grow moringa in the farm. We run a small organic farm of 30-40 acres, and we supply to some Pune citizens. Uh, but we since we have been growing moringa, we thought the organic moringa powder will also help a lot. It is supposed to be one of the new superfoods of the world, moringa. So we are working. We had started working on this, but this endorses our view and vision now that yes, more of such work is required to be done by everyone in future.
So we should expect a wave of immunity building products in the food industry going forward.
Yes.
Right, sir.
Sorry
So,
everyone for the disconnect.
no problem. So, sir, as per you, what will be the most defining moment post COVID-19 scenario?
Uh, See, as a food industry, at least uh, I'm first of all not really able to vision that how will be and when will be this post COVID, because till the time there is no vaccine being developed, there is no full stop to this yet. It's spreadable disease. So one aspect is that, but uh, mm, the real struggle we will have is uh, connecting all the dots of ecosystem which are misplaced right now. And since Indian domestic economy is so vast and working at a micro level, and affected people are uh, the effect on the people is also having a drastic variation, in that people in city are affected totally in different way than people in rural areas. People having daily wages are affected in different way than people working in offices or managerial tasks. Employees are affected separately, employers are affected separately, government is affected separately. So we have to connect all these dots post COVID, and that's going to take some time. And the best way to make this happen in a perfect way is each and every one of us prepares ourselves to get on toes as fast as we can, prepare a plan, and be ready to start bringing the change. I hope after 14th, or maybe after the extended lockdown, which may also happen, certain operations, certain areas may get opened, and that's the time also we should be ready, that if these areas are opening up, what all I can do as industry in this area, what all I can do in this region. Or these are the things, if we are not ready, again we will miss the train. So better to be ready with all these things now.
Exactly.
So Vishalji, we have a plan ready right now. For example, that if certain routes are open, which are our priority routes that we need to cater from the distribution perspective. We are talking with distributors all the time, though they are not placing any orders right now, or they are not able to because everything is locked down there. The vehicle movement is not there. So same way, which raw materials we need to fill up fast, because we know we are short on the those inventories. We also have right now, which is ongoing activity, is our sequence of payments to be done. And of course, for the receivables also, we have changed certain policy with our market. But mainly, to parties we need to pay for raw material supplies or machines we've been buying. We have a clear sequence already created, so that we don't burn at wrong place right now, where we it's a time actually to conserve and not burn anywhere. So these are the things we do right now. We plan now. I think post COVID things will be at least easier at our local level to handle and come back online fast.
So, what advice, sir, would you like to give to your fellow industry leaders, like what they should be doing right now?
Yeah, so I just brief what needs to be done right now. But more than that, I personally feel India is largely agricultural economy, and we need to really shift from oil-based economy to soil-based economy. Some or the other way, all industries should get connected to farm, farming, agriculture activity, which really will strengthen our grassroots to a larger level. And I, through our foundation, the Eco Factory Foundation, and please also I'll urge all of you to see a TEDx talk which was given by me on circular economy, sustainability through circular economy. Please see that talk, because that's what I have shared in month of October 2019 when TEDx Pune happened, that how green economy, soil based economy will empower India in a larger way. The numbers may be different, but the strength in today's situation, for example, there is crisis of food for many people. I mean, that's not what an uh, agriculture based economy needs to go through ideally, but it happens. Also, we have a long unresolved question of national food security. Of course, in many areas India has done really well, for example production of pulses, but there is lot needs to do, not only on the farm, as I said Vishalji earlier, on entire supply chain, on storage, warehousing, packing, distribution lines. Everywhere in agriculture sector, a lot of work needs to be done. I will urge all my fellow industries to some or the other way get connected with soil, get connected with farm, understand farm economics, empower farmers in whatever way you can. We have industry can change India. I personally feel industry if can play this role, we we are the power for our country to bring the right change, and that's why we started doing farming on our own. I started doing farming 6 acres 5 6 years back. Now it is almost 40 50 acres of organic farm we run. We cater to almost 2 300 families in Pune regularly with those produce. As a company, we do not waste a single gram of a wastage which is produced in industry. Everything is recycled, refurbished, reused, upcycled in some or the other way, including plastics which are converted to oil. So such deep root strengthening of businesses will need to be done, where and which in earlier days, if you observe Vishalji and everyone, our ancient systems and our ancient houses also were run on such principles that they would conserve and use everything to its last bit. That is what businesses need to adopt in their day to day working style. That is what we also need to observe even in our premises, that where all wealth can be created from all untapped areas or waste, and use it for strengthening our own internal business ecosystem. We are trying to make paper from onion peels wastage we have, so we can cut down a lot of paper use and purchasing of paper and create more value added product from the waste. You can see it on the TED talk also. These are various different creative, see, science and creativity, I think both will impact uh, world in bigger way in times to come, and both are to me major aspects to bring a real change in day to day system.
Great. So initially, earlier we used to it's a tech-based startup. Now, I'm sure with your guidance, we will also see some agri-based startups, and the boom of agri-based startups should come in India soon. So I think I'm exhausting my time. So and there are so many questions which are popping up for you. So I'll ask my last question before I go to audience questions. Is where do we see Pravin Masale 5 years down the line?
We see us more deep rooted, more closer to customers for sure. That's what I see us 5 years down the line. And the effort will be on to understand customer needs more and more. We will definitely be offering more healthier products to global markets, Indian markets. We will work very closely, more closely with farmers. Of course, we are working now, but we'll work more closely with farmers to make sure that Indian farm practices are totally safe for global market and domestic market as well. We will be largely technology driven company. We will be company utilizing all the concepts of revolution 4.0 in our industry all across. We will be more socially responsible company as we are now, and we will be for future also, taking care of community, taking care of people, taking care of environment, everything all together. So and more importantly, we will be deep rooted in the ethos, ethics, values we have believed in, and we will try to do that, foster that in future as well. Try to connect academia, government, and industry more and more, which we are also trying to do for last few days, months, or years. We'll try to really see that we three work in connection of each other, because that's also a very big need today in such crisis. For example, research institutes like CSIR and many others, Ayurvedic based medicines, herbal medicines, which can be very helpful should come to help humanity, help Indian population to build immunity and come out of such crises sooner than other countries could, or unfortunately they got affected more. But these are the things, and these are the dots needs to be connected very strongly, and that's what Suhana Pravin Masalewale will be doing in times to come.
Great, sir. Thanks. We are definitely looking forward towards it. So now I'll open up audience question answers. Audience, I can see there are so many questions, but we have a limited time. I'll try to cover as much as possible, but my apologies at the start only if I am not able to give justice to all. So I'll start with first question because there is one person who seems to have done good research about you and your organization.
Yeah.
And the question is, you have launched work from home food hamper kits in no time, especially for people with limited ability of cooking. What's your secret of being agile and nimble?
No, the products were there already. As I told the story of Kappa Upma, we just had to convert it a work from home kit, because we have been, as I said, a pre lockdown. Only we had a strong feeling that this will spread, and there is lot of chance of a serious scenario to be arrived in India. And so we started converting the products we had into work from home kit. So it's a very uh, again, it was a very creative way to share our concern and services and offer our products to our beloved and respected customers. And I hope it is useful to you also.
Yes, it seems so. Yes. There is another. Now, this is a question from some fear that do you think the contamination of virus passing through food packaging and food products?
Yeah, on the surfaces, there is a lot of study happened on the surfaces. The virus have a life on different surfaces. The virus have different hours of life, and we are studying that. In fact, today I will just quickly share the document with you all, and which I will also like to email if you all are from food industry. Give me one sec. But yes, that's what we are doing. We are studying. There is no chance to for virus to go through food packaging, because we have in our SOPs, we have also post packing activities done to sterile the packets, including the vehicles. Hands, of course, are sterile. So everywhere we are taking utmost care. In the food, no, there is no chance. WHO today has released a guideline on food industry related care which needs to be taken, and that guideline looks like this: COVID-19 and food safety guidance for food businesses. It got published today, and we are going through this rigorously, our entire team working on this. So that's a it's a question. And
Mhm. Oh, seems we have lost his connection once again. Priyal, can you check, please?
Yes, sir. I will check in a minute.
Sorry for this technology glitches. By the time audience we get Mr. Anand back, I will take this opportunity to announce our tomorrow's in webinar. So tomorrow we have an expert from education sector. So tomorrow we have Mr. Manek Daruwala, Director of Time Institutes with us. He will be talking about the impact of current scenario on education sector, how education sector will change post COVID-19 scenario. So you all will get a registration link. Kindly do register to hear Mr. Manek Daruwala, Director of Time Institute tomorrow. And on Monday, we have an expert from packing industry. We have from Zaveri Flexo, the director of Zaveri Flexo, we have Mr. Alay Zaveri, who will be speaking with us on Monday, and he will be talking about packing industry and the impact of the current scenario in its industry. So I invite all of you to join again us tomorrow and on Monday. Our team is trying to reach Mr. Anand Chordia, and we are hopeful that we should him back soon. So be patient with us. So, Anand sir, can you hear me? Good. I think we have Mr. Anand back. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. Can you?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. I'm reading the questions also here.
Sure.
So one question asked is post-COVID, what are the...
I think two device.
Now,
Yeah, but
this is good.
yeah, better.
So post-COVID, definitely the safety systems, human safety, product safety, process safety, we will have to spend more money.
Anand sir,
Yes.
just one request. Can you just turn off the speaker from your iPad so that it will stop the echo? Hello? Vishal sir, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I guess we'll try to get Mr. Anand back again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. But just try to turn off the speaker from your iPad.
This is good?
Yes.
Yeah. So, post-COVID, there will be a lot of expenditure which will definitely happen. Budgets needs to be allocated for human safety, food safety for us. For other industries, the protocols needs to be maintained. We need to come up with a whole new norm. Quality safety will be a new norm completely, which we'll need to work on. Post-COVID, all of us need to really see that how we become more leaner organization and such what I would say such incidences proof that we need to be prepared totally after experiencing such a big setback to entire ecosystem. we need to be prepared for such happenings in future to come. Because post this, I still personally feel that when this is going to happen is one question, and many times people say that let us think about it post COVID, but I don't think that time and point will arise soon. So it's now and today that we need to start thinking and applying our mind on this.
Great. Definitely, sir.
There is another question here. What is your plan to cut waste in your value stream? I think I shared that. Uh, Automation, lean Suhana war room has been created. We have prioritized certain activities to be done, certain activities to be cut down. For example, participation in national and international exhibitions. We have cut down certain marketing expenditures. We have cut down. We are re-looking at redefining roles and responsibilities of people, because multitasking will be future role rather than one kind of work which any individual should be doing in organization. Uh, Other than that, some lines which are uh, higher uh, high value, we always want to stay lean on those lines and make sure that we first in initial phase we do more of what masses require as essential items. These are the things we are planning on. Of course, there are a lot of norms getting redesigned internally in organization, from HR perspective, to see that how all we can save and conserve funds largely. So we are trying to work on that.
There's one question, sir, which is asking and then is asking 2 points of SWOT for the food industry.
Uh, no, right now, if you ask me strength, uh, essential commodities was something which one could start on with, but to start that itself is a very big risk. So if we are, when it will be really strength, if we are fully prepared to run operations uh, without any chance of possible spread and contamination, is a very big strength today, I personally feel. Uh, Opportunities are definitely there if you have right stocks with you and certain material you're allowed to manufacture and sell and supply. To me, we don't take it more like, as I said earlier, not take it as a business opportunity today, but as an opportunity to serve our nation. And I feel absolutely satisfied and grateful to my team, that we all are back on track trying to serve and produce some food products for our brothers and sisters in our nation. Threats are more in such situation because of it's contagious and spreadable. I still have to read, excuse me, I still have to read the WHO document on food, but threats there are right now many. For example, in food industry, we have canteens where people come together, work, eat food. We have areas like changing room, washrooms, or even these packaging lines are next to each other where people are close to each other. So right now we are operating alternate packaging lines, so there is a social distancing maintained. But such areas are cause of concern even today to me, that if there is no good awareness in them, there is very high risk of spread of such virus in community. And if anything happens, we know the consequences. It's a complete lockdown. It's a complete sanitation again, and to reopen the process is a big cost. So these are the threats also we have.
So one more question is related to exports. Is apart from logistics and safety norms for other countries, what will be the biggest challenge in export opportunity?
Okay, before I come to this point, I also want to answer when we went to the government offices
Uh-huh.
to take the approvals, we had taken entire videos and photos of the new COVID practices and GMPs, which we
Okay.
are following in our factory. Taking that, we went there, that this is how we will maintain our operations, will maintain to work, and then if you feel this is correct and possible that we can do these essential commodities, then allow us. And that's how we have gone. So that is one way to go to authorities in a proper way with a presentation that how we are going to operate in such crisis, and take permissions and make sure you follow that.
Sure. Great.
Our
Uh,
exports, yes. What was the export question?
apart from logistics and safety norms for other countries, what will be the biggest challenge in export opportunity?
First is, to me, first is demand. Whether people would want to move to food which is um, imported, expensive. Is it a time really to enjoy luxury food products right now? That is the first priority, I feel, and question. Through food, what possible chances of contamination are there, needs to be studied more. Of course, if the surfaces are dry, products are dry, there is no possible contamination. But through dairy or meat products, especially, what kind of contaminations can happen is going to be a very big question. Uh, Other than that, for in our case right now, if I want to share our experience, the exports are not allowed as of now for us to reopen. The buyers globally are also in a shock and in a state to see that they also maintain their in key product lines right now, which are main businesses for them, and then probably rethink. And if their governments allow imports again, start that back. I feel export uncertainty is a lot right now. We are also debating internally, questioning ourselves that what will be. There are two markets for a product like ours. We are traditional Indian food products, so largely Indians abroad is our first market, and then other mainstream uh, retail chains or mainstream is our secondary market. So if this primary market reopens, how they look at Indian food product purchases from India, or there are some products which are available locally, they use that. There is a lot of question mark and brainstorming happening internally right now. For other products, there is a possibility of growth. For example, if we are doing these health foods, if we are doing, yesterday I was in a webinar with Ayush, which is the Ayurveda, herbal, Unani, homeopath, all those medicines, and they said that ashwagandha sales and product ashwagandha or gulwel as immunity builder are looked by entire globe in a very big way now. So there is a possibility that such products or making food products with such high value nutritional ingredients may have a very large global demand. That's an opportunity I see in that case.
Right, sir. So there's a question coming from overseas as well. Being in a food industry, do you see your sales going up, down, or flat in next 12 months?
I right now, uh, because there are limited lines which we are operating. One, second, some of the stocks which was in the market is completely in a lockdown situation at distributor level, because they can't distribute anything and everything. other than essential. So definitely the first answer is the sales are on a lower side than the average sales. So I would say they are less than 50% right now. Post lockdown or pre within this duration also, I don't see it uh, to grow exponentially in any case, because the supply chain is disturbed, and there are multiple reasons. Some places due to actual physical barriers which police have put, some places it's a fear factor in individuals, in distributors, somewhere it's fear factor in drivers who are operating vehicles. So multiple ways it is disturbed. To bring all that online is going to take a lot of time.
Right. So there is a question from one of the youth there. How is the future India from your point of view? How do you wish to see the youth of the country in terms of balancing modernization plus agriculture?
Yeah, I feel future India to me seems to be very powerful nation. Our domestic in-house economy is very strong, so I'm very sure post COVID we will be able to cope up and come back to routines and routine businesses faster than other smaller or other nations. And we should make sure, so for example in such crisis, our first priority also is how we will address our domestic market correctly. So that can be applicable to many of the industries right now listening here, that how you will get back to your home ground uh, first, and then get into that expansion or export mode, because domestic market for many of the products we do is very big. Food consumption of Indian traditional food in India of course is largest. And what was the second part of your, and agriculture? Yes, I personally, whether we are in rural areas or whether we are in urban areas, there is a whole ideology of urban farming, urban gardening, which I have been saying for last year through my foundation. We also have a center for urban farming and urban gardening where one can come and get skilled at how they can do from 1 BHK to a bungalow or in a society also. And today I realize importance of it, that how much food is important and how we can utilize these spaces to grow some basic food. It is not only per se to grow food, but also to manage waste efficiently and create cleaner air and cleaner food for all of us. Cuba is a case study. You all should go online and study about Cuba country being largely food security. They had large deficit of food security, which simply means they needed food to be imported to provide to their own citizens. In 15 years of time and total effort of urban farming, farming in cities, Cuba has come out of entire nation's food security problems, doing organic natural farming. This is what a strength every Indian industry, Indian individual, Indian citizen can utilize, and that is the sunlight available in India almost throughout year, and some minor quantity of water which you need to run urban farm. There is no cost as such gets implicated. The nature works better than us if we let nature work properly by just connecting the dots. And that's what I'll urge. And I personally see lot of interesting automations will come. Like it is revolution 4.0 for manufacturing industries. It started with automobile, IT, then it came in food. Now we work on that lines. It will also come in farming. We use some sensors, basic sensors, which are required, and modernization in agriculture will happen. But keeping in mind, by doing that, modernization will not harm environment and harm anybody's health or health of our soil. I personally feel health of our nation is in health of our soil. That's what India is all about.
So we will take, because of the time constraint, we'll take just last two questions. One be, as soon as lockdown is lifted, should the prices of FMCG goods be kept at the same, or should we come up with the schemes to reach sales which were there pre-COVID?
Right now, it should be kept same, and we should not do any changes. Although some in since the food sector is so vast, FMCG is so vast, I cannot visualize every sector and tell this is a generic thought which I want to give on essential commodities. But post COVID, it depends on the markets, how they open, how the commodity prices are there. If this question is asked by a person who comes from FMCG background and manufacturing of food background, then they know how the volatility of the commodity market happen, and we'll need to be with the flow with that market.
Right, sir. So last point, thank you, sir, for the clarity and on focus and sharing the learning. Is skill availability and skill building with new recruitment is going to be a challenge after COVID-19? Focus on higher automation, is it the option?
A lot. I think already I'm facing the problem of building skills of COVID GMPs, and it's getting so difficult to explain each and every labor, because each and every individual is equally responsible to avoid the spread, and that's why every individual needs to be skilled. Going to that individual, explaining in their language they understand is becoming difficult. We are showing films, we are showing talking to them in all multiple languages from wheresoever they come from, and skilling is going to be a topmost, of course, yes, topmost priority to me. Leaning the organization is also going to be topmost priority for us, and leaning is only possible in many cases at FMCG level is by automation. So automation will play a very vital role in times to come. And in fact, last 6 months only we have taken up initiative to work on most of our lines and implementing more than just automation. The entire concept of Revolution 4.0 needs to be implemented. So it's not only about automation, it's also about getting right facts, figures, numbers, the big data analysis for your industry. All that will matter the most.
So last question, and we can end with this, is tips on healthy eats to build immunity. Your tips on building immunity.
Oh, so some of the things in the lockdown period we have been trying to do at home also is pranayams, yoga. I have done Siddha Samadhi yoga, art of living, vipassana. So we all practice that. Along with that, turmeric, ginger, water, black pepper with turmeric. Definitely, all of you do Google such remedies. They are amazing, powerful Indian innovations and ingredients which are आजीबाईची पोटली जे म्हणतो आपण, which is in home remedies, which must be used to protect our loved ones, to protect our community, our own self, our society. So there are many which are useful. Again, I will say certain bodies react to certain things separately. One needs to be vigilant, observant about his or her own body reactions or effects of certain remedies on them. Keep consulting, keep talking to your doctors, reading things. But yes, definitely eating natural, organic, healthy food in long term, and making sure, if not us who got that in our lifetime, if we can take and be responsible, that's what I want to be responsible, to make sure my next generation and everybody's the next generation of India gets healthy, natural, organic food to eat, so they build larger immunity in them. That becomes that is an opportunity stick area to work in, that is need of our country, and I feel that is right of every young Indian citizen living in India and growing in India.
Great, sir. So I'll just end with a suggestion given by one of the father. It seems it's given by one of the father that good to have immunity building products. His small suggestion is to make food very presentable to the children, so the children will push father to buy those foods. So definitely, it's a suggestion by a father. I'm sure industry will take this suggestion.
So I'm glad to share my views to everyone. I hope they were useful. You all can connect to me. I will share my email. Can I share my email on the chat?
Yes, you can, sir. You can.
If anyone wants to connect to me, and also at MCCIA Maratha Chamber, I am chairing the food industry chapter, and we are doing a lot of activities at the food industry, all food industry cluster in and around Pune. If anybody is part of food industry, wants to join and come in food industry, has a startup idea, please do write to me. We can definitely see how we can help you, guide you, work with you together on the project. I'm just writing my email.
Also, I'll ask participant after this webinar, definitely you are going to get one thanking email along with the feedback requirement. So those who wants to get connected with Mr. Chordia, just reply to that email and we will get you connected.
One more email.
So his email ID is anandchordia@gmail.com and anand.chordia@suhana.co.in. And again, I repeat, those who would like to get connected, just reply to the email which you will receive after this webinar and we will get you connected.
And I will share those few interesting documents which came, and I'm sure they are floating to everyone through phone. Nice SOPs and things to do, vagare vagare. But some things which are technical and I found very important pertaining to food industry also, or how to face such crisis. I'll just share with Vishalji, and my request to share to everyone, Vishalji.
Thank you, sir. Definitely will do that. So with this, I once again take this opportunity to thank you, sir, for investing your time. Almost we are together since more than almost 100 minutes now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure each and every person who was a part of this webinar is leaving the webinar with various good insights which are given by you. And we really look forward that how to get industry again now connected back to agriculture. That's a message which you are giving. I'm sure industry will take this message seriously and we'll see many agricultural based startups coming soon into the industry.
Great.
With this, thank you very much, sir. For my audience, I will once again repeat tomorrow's webinar. Tomorrow we have Mr. Manik Daruwala, Director of Time Institute, talking about education sector. So tomorrow at the same time, 3 o'clock, do join us. And I will leave this, conclude this webinar with a thought. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. So let's clear all these doubts today and look for a brighter tomorrow. With this, thank you once again to everyone. Thank you, CII. Thank you to Young Indians, Ahmedabad chapter. Thank you to Roundtable India for making this webinar happen. And now, last and not least, thank you to the audience.
Thank you so much.